I'm going to mention now 3 takeaways that you'll be able to pick up in more detail from my presentation. The first one is what I call the safety paradox. There's a paradox at the heart of the way safety is dealt with by these big organizations. Managers often say that safety is their top priority, but when a big accident happens, we invariably find that they were putting production ahead of safety. How can that be? When managers, we can assume they're sincere, they really believe they're putting safety first. Well, there is an explanation for this paradox, and that is that it's to do with the way they measure safety. And the way it's measured is in terms of number of injuries occurring to the workforce, individual injuries. And managers are serious about trying to drive down that number of injuries. But major accidents are rare, and the injury rate tells you nothing about how well these major accident risks are being managed. I think it leads on to a second takeaway, which is that big companies in hazardous industries need to think carefully about what kinds of safety indicators they're going to use to convey how well they are managing major accident risk. And the fact of the matter is that before every big accident, there are always warning signs. We can call them precursor events, things that happen before the major accident. These precursor events don't always give rise to a major accident, but they are certainly there when a major accident happens. So if you can measure the number of those precursor events and drive that number down, then you'll be managing your major accident risk more effectively. So the challenge is to identify what those precursor events are and turn this into a KPI that really matters. The third takeaway, I think, is simply that a lot of the bad behavior in these companies is driven by the bonus arrangements that operate, which prioritize production. So everyone in these companies needs to be acutely aware of what kind of behavior is being driven by their bonus structure and to what extent that bonus structure is putting profit ahead of safety. So those are 3 of the takeaways that I'm going to elaborate on in my presentation. And I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to present them to you and to fill out the details, because it's very important that people understand these things, because they are